That $10,000 family vacation isn't a magical memory. It's a meticulously engineered financial slaughterhouse. Billion-dollar corporations are weaponizing your deepest parental guilt to trap you in a crippling, decade-long nightmare. Watch until the end, because the happiest place on earth is secretly destroying your family's future. Imagine standing under the scorching Florida sun, the heavy scent of sugar and artificial vanilla pumping through hidden vents, wrapping around you like a warm embrace. Your child is smiling, holding a melting ice cream. It looks like the quintessential American dream. But beneath this picture-perfect facade, your pulse is racing. A cold sweat is pooling at the base of your neck, and an invisible noose is tightening around your chest. You aren't just making a memory. You are standing at the exact epicenter of a financial crime scene, and you are both the victim and the willing accomplice. What if I told you that the happiest place on earth is actually the most perfectly engineered wealth extraction machine in human history? A machine so ruthlessly effective that it is quietly pushing millions of parents to the brink of absolute ruin, all while they smile for the camera. Credit Card Payoff Plan US warmly welcomes you to a reality check that most people are entirely too terrified to face. If you have ever felt the suffocating grip of consumer debt, or if you simply want to arm yourself against the psychological warfare waged by billion-dollar corporations, I urge you to hit that subscribe button right now. Your support fuels this channel and gives us the ammunition to keep uncovering these brutal financial truths. Stick with me to the very end of this video, because what I am about to reveal will permanently alter the way you look at your family vacations, your credit cards, and your future. Let us look straight into the barrel of a number that feels like a physical assault on the modern middle class: $35,000. That is the price tag for a premium family vacation today. You didn't mishear me. We are not talking about chartering a yacht across the Mediterranean or booking a month-long expedition to Antarctica. That is the staggering ransom required to grant a family entry into a manufactured wonderland. A family of 5 steps up to the turnstiles, and before a single ride is ridden, before a single overpriced churro is consumed, or a plastic souvenir is bought, they have already swiped their card for $974 just to step over the property line. Welcome to the unforgiving reality of 2026, where the American dream has been inflated into a massive, illiquid blood clot, suffocating every financial artery of parents who are already gasping for air on their finite paychecks. Statistics have unearthed a reality so morbid, it borders on dystopia. 45% of families with children are currently carrying debt exclusively to fund this amusement park experience. I want you to pause and let the profound absurdity of that sink into your bones. As a society, we can reluctantly comprehend medical debt. It is the tragic cost of fighting for your very survival. We begrudgingly accept student loan debt as a highly risky, yet socially normalized investment into a theoretical future. But entertainment debt? That is the hallmark of a profoundly diseased consumer economy. It is the act of borrowing against your own twilight years, forcing your family into a high-stakes game of financial Russian roulette with endless payment cycles just to trade your solvency for a handful of social media photos and a silent hug from a teenager in a stifling fursuit. This is no longer a fundamental family getaway. It is a crushing, generational burden cleverly camouflaged under the sacred guise of childhood memories. Let us dissect this $1,400 daily hell bill that an average family is expected to shoulder. This is not inflation. It is the result of a meticulously engineered campaign to bleed the consumer dry, calculated down to the very last microcent. The free Fast Pass system, once the crown jewel of their customer experience, has been violently put down, replaced by predatory lane upgrades and digital queue systems. Make no mistake, this is not a value-added service. This is legalized extortion. You have already paid thousands of dollars just to exist within their walls. But if you refuse to bake on the asphalt for 3 hours for a 4-minute ride, you must empty your pockets even further. You are literally paying a ransom to buy back your own time. And once you are locked inside their ecosystem, the captive audience pricing strategy takes hold. You are no longer a guest. You are a financial hostage. A piece of industrially frozen, deep-fried chicken is priced equivalent to a Michelin star appetizer. Sugar water is peddled with a profit margin bordering on 5,000%. Think about the average household making $80,000 a year. After the government takes its cut and the crushing cost of basic survival is accounted for, what is their actual disposable income? To scrape together $10,000 for a 5-day illusion, they must slash their grocery budgets, delay life insurance premiums, and completely drain their family's financial oxygen tank for 3 to 5 years. It is a masterpiece of mass brainwashing. They have successfully convinced millions of rational adults that sacrificing long-term financial security for a fleeting hit of synthetic euphoria is the ultimate sacred duty of a loving parent. To truly understand how deeply rational, hard-working people are coerced into this financial slaughter, we must pull back the curtain on the psychological warfare designed to weaponize your most profound parental insecurities. You are not simply buying a ticket to an amusement park. You are purchasing a culturally mandated sacrament of modern childhood. And the marketing executives sitting in glass boardrooms know exactly how to hold your conscience hostage. They have masterfully engineered a narrative that equates exorbitant spending with parental love. The insidious messaging whispers from our televisions, our social media feeds, and our peer groups, suggesting that if you do not subject yourself to this specific, trademarked brand of magic, you are somehow failing your children. They peddle the terrifying concept of the fleeting childhood, constantly reminding you that you only have 18 short summers before your kids are gone. This is not a harmless advertising slogan. It is a meticulously crafted psychological trigger designed to induce blind panic. When you log on to the internet and see the curated, flawlessly filtered photographs of your neighbors standing in front of a fiberglass castle, matching t-shirts gleaming in the sun, a visceral sense of inadequacy takes root in your mind. The corporation relies entirely on this peer-to-peer surveillance. They do not have to force you to empty your bank account because they have trained your friends, your family, and your own internal guilt to do the heavy lifting for them. You begin to view this catastrophic expense not as a luxury, but as a non-negotiable developmental milestone for your child. The thought of your kids returning to school in the fall, having to sit silently while their peers recount tales of animated characters and VIP parades, is enough to break a parent's heart. So, you swallow your financial anxiety, you ignore the glaring red numbers in your checking account, and you bow to the pressure. What makes this manipulation so devastatingly cruel is that it preys on your best intentions. You want to be a good parent. You desperately want to freeze time and see the unadulterated wonder in your child's eyes before the harshness of the real world claims their innocence. The tragedy is that billion-dollar conglomerates have hijacked this pure, human desire and commodified it. They have sold you a lie that joy must be purchased at a premium, and that memories are only valid if they come with a barcode and a staggering price tag. We are living in a society where parental devotion is measured by the willingness to self-immolate on the altar of consumerism. You are told you are building a legacy of happiness, but in reality, you are participating in a mass delusion, enthusiastically handing over the keys to your financial independence just to buy a temporary reprieve from the crushing guilt of not being enough. Once this manufactured guilt successfully dismantles your rational defenses, the waiting arms of the credit card industry are right there to catch you in a seemingly comforting, yet ultimately inescapable financial embrace. This entire multi-billion-dollar entertainment ecosystem would collapse overnight if it were not artificially propped up by the predatory lending practices of massive financial institutions. The moment you realize your savings cannot cover the extortionate costs of this trip, the trap springs shut. You are offered a co-branded, shiny piece of plastic promising magical rewards, 0% introductory interest rates, and VIP perks that suddenly make the impossible seem entirely manageable. It feels like a lifeline, a stroke of luck that allows you to provide for your family without immediate sacrifice. But this is the grand illusion of the modern debt machine. They are not offering you a bridge to your dreams. They are handing you a shovel to dig your own grave. Let us look at the brutal, unyielding mathematics of what happens after the fireworks end and the luggage is unpacked. That $10,000 vacation, swiped onto a credit card with an average interest rate hovering around 24%, ceases to be a memory and instantly transforms into a living, breathing parasite attached to your household income. If you fall into the trap of making only the minimum payments, a reality for millions of families who are already stretched to the breaking point by inflation and housing costs, that one-week getaway will take you nearly a decade to pay off. By the time the final cent is transferred to the bank, you will have paid upwards of $25,000 for a trip your children barely even remember.
The stuffed animals will have long ended up in a landfill. The matching t-shirts will be rags. But the financial hemorrhage will continue to bleed your family dry month after relentless month. The banking industry understands human psychology just as intimately as the theme parks do. They know that the pain of parting with physical cash triggers an entirely different neurological response than swiping a card or tapping a phone. They abstract the pain of the purchase, delaying the consequence just long enough for the dopamine hit of the vacation to fade, replacing it with the chronic cortisol spike of impending financial doom. And the reward points, the cash back, they are nothing more than digital breadcrumbs meant to distract you from the fact that you are being led into a slaughterhouse. You are literally borrowing money against your own future labor, guaranteeing that the hours you work 5 years from now have already been claimed by a bank to pay for a cold hot dog you ate yesterday. It is a brilliant, terrifying syndicate where the entertainment industry manufactures the desire and Wall Street happily provides the rope. But the true, devastating cost of this predatory cycle is never fully articulated on a monthly billing statement. It is extracted in the dead of night through the silent erosion of your family's very foundation. We are so fixated on the monetary figures that we fail to recognize the profound collateral damage inflicted upon the home. When a family is suffocating beneath a mountain of consumer debt accumulated for the sake of a vacation, the stress permeates every single aspect of their existence. It sits at the dinner table like an uninvited guest. It fuels the bitter, hushed arguments between spouses behind closed bedroom doors at 2 in the morning. Financial stress is the leading cause of divorce in this country, meaning that the very trip you took to bond your family together may well be the catalyst that ultimately tears it apart. Consider the heartbreaking irony of the modern working parent
who has leveraged their future for a week of synthetic magic. To service that suffocating monthly payment, that parent must now pick up extra shifts, work late into the evenings, or take on a soul-crushing second job. They are trading their most valuable, non-renewable resource, their actual present time with their children, to pay off the debt of a manufactured memory. You end up missing the real, everyday magic, the impromptu backyard baseball games, the quiet moments helping with homework, the bedtime stories.
You sacrifice years of genuine daily presence in your child's life to appease a bank for a fleeting week of orchestrated amusement. It is a tragic paradox. You destroyed the village to save the village, cannibalizing your family's daily happiness to fund a highlight reel. Furthermore, this debt acts as a wrecking ball to your long-term security. The money currently being poured into 24% interest charges is money being stolen directly from your child's college fund, from your emergency savings, and from your own retirement accounts. We are witnessing a generation of parents who will be forced to work well into their 70s, utterly exhausted and physically broken, simply because they lacked the courage to tell their children no when they were 10 years old. By prioritizing the illusion of present-day perfection, you are actively dismantling your family's future safety net. You are teaching your children, by example, that instant gratification is worth a lifetime of anxiety. When the next economic downturn hits, or an unexpected medical emergency arises, the memories of a roller coaster will offer no shelter. The magical facade crumbles, leaving nothing behind but the cold, hard reality of a family left completely defenseless against the storms of life. Recognizing this devastating irony is the painful, yet absolutely essential first step toward reclaiming your future from an economy that views your family as nothing more than a disposable asset. The moment you acknowledge that you have been playing a rigged game is the moment you take your power back. You must undergo a radical shift in perspective and aggressively deprogram yourself from the societal lie that love equals financial ruin. It is time to draw a hard line in the sand and refuse to participate in the financial exploitation of your own household. Breaking this cycle requires an incredible amount of bravery because it means looking your children in the eye and explaining the value of financial stability over temporary thrills. It means weathering the confused looks of your peers when you tell them you are not going to the happiest place on earth this year because you prefer the profound peace of a debt-free existence. We have to completely redefine what constitutes a meaningful childhood memory. The truth that the corporate machine desperately wants to hide from you is that children do not require a massive, heavily financed production to feel loved and secure. They remember the weekend camping trips where the tent leaked, but everyone laughed until they cried. They remember the chaotic road trips to visit grandparents, the smell of pancakes on a Saturday morning, and the simple, undeniable presence of parents who are not chronically stressed and exhausted. True magic cannot be bought at a turnstile. It is organically forged in the quiet, unscripted moments of everyday life. By choosing financial sanity, you are giving your children the greatest gift imaginable: a parent who is emotionally available, a home that is free from the crushing weight of debt, and a real-world education in delayed gratification and responsibility. If this message resonated with you, if you are tired of feeling like a pawn in a billionaire's chess game, I need you to stand with us. Hit the like button to push this truth out into the algorithm where other struggling parents can find it. Subscribe to Credit Card Payoff Plan US because we are not stopping here. We are building an army of financially awake individuals who refuse to be victims of a predatory system. Share this video with a friend or family member who needs to hear it,
even if it might be an uncomfortable conversation. The path to financial freedom is steep, and the corporate giants will do everything in their power to drag you back down. But you do not have to walk it alone. Reclaim your money, reclaim your time, and most importantly, reclaim your family. I will see you in the next video, where we continue to tear down the financial illusions holding you back. Ultimately, the narrative pushed by financial institutions is a carefully orchestrated illusion designed to monetize your deepest parental instincts. By equating extravagant, debt-fueled vacations with good parenting, this system traps well-meaning families in a cycle of crushing consumer debt that jeopardizes their long-term security and present-day peace. The very vacations intended to create lasting family bonds often become the catalyst for extreme financial stress, marital conflict, and the heartbreaking reality of parents having to trade their precious daily time with their children to pay off exorbitant interest rates. You are led to believe you are buying a fleeting moment of magic, but in reality, you are mortgaging your family's future and sacrificing your daily emotional availability. Breaking free from this toxic cycle demands a radical shift in perspective. It requires the courage to reject the societal pressure of manufactured milestones and to embrace the truth that authentic childhood memories are built on connection, presence, and stability, not on a heavily financed barcode. Reclaiming your financial independence is not merely about saving money. It is about rescuing your family from the destructive grip of consumerism and securing a future where peace of mind is the ultimate luxury. By stepping off this treadmill of manufactured desires, you give your children the greatest legacy possible: an emotionally present parent and a financially secure home. The most dangerous lie sold to modern parents is that love, joy, and meaningful memories carry a premium price tag. True childhood magic is not a commodity that can be swiped on a credit card. It is found in the quiet, unscripted, and debt-free moments of genuine parental presence. Sacrificing your family's long-term financial survival for a fleeting week of synthetic entertainment is not an act of devotion, but an act of self-sabotage that ultimately robs your children of a peaceful, secure upbringing. Audit your discretionary spending. Commit to a cash-only rule for family entertainment and vacations. If you cannot pay for it in cash today, you do not go. Redefine family magic. Intentionally schedule low-cost or free activities this weekend that prioritize connection over consumption. Have a family game night, go hiking, or cook a meal together. Communicate with your kids. Start having age-appropriate conversations with your children about the value of money, the trap of debt, and why your family prioritizes financial peace over temporary thrills. Teach them by example that no is a complete and protective sentence. What is one of your favorite, completely free, or very low-cost, memories from your own childhood? Please politely drop your answer and your perspective in the comments section below. Sharing our real experiences helps the whole community realize that true joy doesn't require a loan. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel to support our mission. Your subscription gives us the motivation to keep creating powerful content to help you achieve total financial freedom.